If you don't have abandoned cart and abandoned checkout flows set up for your brand, you are literally leaving thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table every single month. You see, studies show that over 70% of e-commerce websites are abandoned. So if you don't have a way to bring these visitors back to the site to continue buying, you are literally wasting all of the money that you're spending on ads. And the worst part is, these are literally some of the easiest customers to convert because they've already gone to your website, they've either added a product to cart or to their checkout, and then they've just left. And maybe they just got distracted or they just had a few final questions they needed before they actually made that purchase. Either way, that's what makes these flows so powerful. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to set them up with the same strategies that we've used to help generate over $50 million across all of our client accounts. So before we actually go ahead and build out any flows, any triggers, anything, you need to understand the difference between the abandoned cart and the abandoned checkout flow, okay? And if you just lose one of these or mess one of these up, you could potentially lose a lot of money. So it's important that we set this up correctly. Now, an abandoned cart flow, very simply put, is when somebody has added something to their cart, they didn't purchase, right? They didn't go to the checkout page and they didn't place an order. For the abandoned checkout flow, pretty simple. They've abandoned the checkout, which means they've made it to the checkout page and they never ended up buying. And just to give you an overview as to how this actually looks in the customer journey, this is obviously the customer funnel for any e-commerce website. Somebody would go to your website, they would view your product, they would then add it to cart. If they leave this page here, we send out the abandoned cart flow, or if they made it to the checkout page, but they left the checkout page, we send the abandoned checkout flow. That is literally it for these two flows. That's all we're sending out, okay? Abandoned cart flow has got medium intent buyers, and the abandoned checkout flow has high intent buyers because these are closer to making a purchase. That is all you need to know at this stage. Now, the next step is actually creating these inside of Klaviyo, and we need to make sure the triggers are set up correctly with the right timing and of course the right action that people take in order to enter those flows. Because if you don't get the triggers right, you could send them out at the wrong time, or they could actually overlap each other, which deletes the entire purpose of setting them up in the first place. So I'm gonna walk you through exactly how to set these up inside of Klaviyo right now. Now, for the abandoned cart flow, but when it comes to timing and laying out this actual flow in terms of sequence and time delays, really simple approach. Have a 30-minute time delay on the first email after obviously they've been put into this flow, 30 minutes until they receive the first email. And the reason for this is because these are pretty high intent buyers who we want to stay top of mind for when it comes to nurturing them deeper down that funnel. And you can also split test a 15-minute time delay, but for now, just keep it at 30-minute if you're just starting off. And I'll show you how to run a split test in just a minute. Now, for the flow filters, I'm not actually going to explain this right now. I'm going to show you a live example, but I'm going to show you how to make sure they don't overlap and each one is segregated based on which stage of the funnel they're at. The abandoned checkout, pretty much the same setup in terms of time delay. You want to start with 30 minutes and then you still want to have that 1 day time delay ongoingly after that first email. Exactly the same after for that flow. And you can split test different time delays for this. For the abandoned checkout, you can try 1 hour, you can try 30 minutes, you could even try 15 minutes. I'm going to show you how to go ahead and actually set up this split test, okay? So let's hop into Klaviyo and set this up together. So abandoned cart flow, how do we go ahead and set this up? Well, for the trigger at the top, you need to have the added to cart metric ready to go inside of Klaviyo. Klaviyo doesn't automatically integrate this for you, so you might need to go ahead and just type in how to add the added to cart metric inside of Klaviyo and just follow the guide for that. It will show you how to do this. But right now, I just want to show you how to actually structure this flow. So the trigger here, profiles enter the flow when this happens, when they have obviously entered the added to cart metric. That will get triggered and place them into this flow. Now, for this, you can actually have a re-entry criteria. So you can allow people to basically re-enter this flow after 14 days have passed, okay? I would recommend having this because obviously if they have added something to cart, they would receive the flow. If it has then been 2 weeks since they've obviously added the product to cart again, you can then re-enter them into the flow, okay? Now, when it comes to the trigger splits, nice and simple. You want these 3 trigger splits we've got here. Checkout has been started 0 times since starting this flow. So we're in the abandoned cart right now. Checkout has not been started yet because we don't want them to obviously overlap this with the checkout flow. They've also placed an order 0 times since starting this flow, and they've added to cart 0 times since starting this flow, okay? Nice and simple stuff. Just copy those triggers. If we actually click on edit here, you can just take a little pause of my screen now, just set it up as follows. Placed order 0 times since starting this flow. Checkout started 0 times since starting this flow. And then what someone has or has not done, added to cart 0 times since starting this flow. Just literally pause, copy those flow filters, okay? Now, for the time delay, you want 30 minutes. And all you want to do is just grab the time delay over here, drop it in, and just change it to 30 minutes. Then you can go ahead, grab your email, drag your email in underneath that time delay, okay? And you're just building it out block by block. And once you've obviously done this 30-minute time delay and set up the trigger, you obviously actually have your first email, and then we're just waiting 1 day. And again, another email here, wait 1 day. And you keep doing that until you finish the flow, right? Once that's done, you've literally just completed the abandoned cart flow. Now let's go to the abandoned checkout flow, and I'll show you how to actually do a split test as well with different time delays. But before we get to that, let's actually set up this trigger. So same event here, profile enter this flow when this happens, when obviously the checkout started metric has been triggered. And again, you can have the allow re-entry after 14 days time period for this, and nice and simple at the bottom for the profile filters, you just want to basically have it so that they have placed an order 0 times since starting this flow. So they've not purchased yet, okay? Now, conditional split. For this, you just have conditional split here, like so. Drag it in. And then what you would do is, for the conditional split, you would have a random sample including 50% of traffic. So basically what this is saying here, it's going to take a random sample of people out of your whole traffic on your website, and it's going to split it into 2 audiences. So you've got 50% on the left, 50% on the right, okay? That's how you do the A/B test. Now, for this, all we're A/B testing is the time delay. So you just have your time delay here, have your time delay here that you drag it in, update this to 1 hour, update this to 30 minutes, and then you will have the exact same email for both of these. Now, you don't want to change any copy or any design or even like subject lines in either of these, because that's not a fair test. Right now, we're only split testing time delays. We don't want to split test anything inside of the email. Once you find the analytics on these time delays, you can click on analytics up here and you can see what's actually getting more revenue. So for example, this one's getting more revenue. All right, cool. Well, let's just stick to the 30-minute time delay and just have it 30 minutes ongoingly. Then you can start to split test stuff inside of the email, okay? And again, for the rest of the flow, you just have 1 day for the time delay, then the email. 1 day time delay, then the email. And you keep doing that until you finished it. And that is literally how you set up the abandoned cart and the abandoned checkout flow with the correct triggers and time delays. Now, if you want to start making more sales from your email list without having to set up these flows yourself, you can book a call using the first link in the description. We've now helped over 100 successful e-commerce brands to generate a total of $50 million across the board for all of our clientele. So if you'd like to see how we can help you, just book in a call below. So let's talk about the purpose of a strong abandoned cart flow. An abandoned cart flow re-engages medium intent shoppers and reminds them why they wanted the product and rebuilds desire before pushing urgency, okay? And we can do this by focusing on product benefits, social proof, any light urgency or incentives selectively to convert browsers without training discount behaviors. So what this means is we don't want to just put a discount in every single email. You can actually have some form of urgency or incentivization a little bit further down the funnel. So if we're looking at this sort of skeleton framework here, email number 1 can be to remind them about the product that they left in the cart. And the call to action here is obviously to go back to that cart page. Email number 2, you can offer an incentive, right? And incentivize them on why they should do it today, right? It could be, you know, laid with scarcity here as well. We've only got a select amount of items left in stock, right? If you didn't want to have incentivization this early in the flow, just flick it over with email number 3. So you'd have social proof, reviews, testimonials. That could be email number 2 instead. And email number 2 could be flicked over number 3. You don't have to have it this early in the flow, okay? Entirely up to you and something you can split test. Email number 4 would obviously just be urgency, and the call to action is just to join back to the cart page, right? Now, for the abandoned checkout flow, a good abandoned checkout flow recaptures high intent buyers. These people are a lot further down the funnel. Now, what we want to do is quickly remove friction before offering any discounts and reassure users on price, trust, and delivery, or any other relevant USPs. It prioritizes fast timing, clear call to actions, and objection handling, using incentives only as a last resort, okay? And we use it as a last resort to close those hesitant buyers without killing margin. So email number 1, reminder about the products in checkout, and the call to action is obviously to go back to that checkout page. Same as the abandoned cart for both of these, right? Email number 1 on the abandoned cart and email number 1 on the abandoned checkout is literally just a reminder email for both of those. Then you can have why our products are trusted, and you can reinstate that trust inside of this email with social proof or authority from, you know, leading figures in your niche who've credited your brand, stuff like that. Email number 3 can be focusing on specific worries that they might have about the product and just basically handling those objections. And then email number 4 is obviously offering an incentive. You can introduce some form of urgency, okay? Nice and simple. That is literally it. Now let's actually go ahead and look at an example flow live inside of one of my client accounts. Let's open this up and preview this email. Okay, first email of the abandoned cart flow. They are waiting for you. Don't leave your pearls behind. Finish your order. So for context, this brand, they sell
sell jewelry, but it's like pearls that you find in the ocean. And here we've put, there's something special in your cart, a piece that carries the depth and beauty of the ocean, crafted sustainably in the pristine waters of a atoll. Bring a meaningful piece of jewelry into your life, knowing it was created with care and respect for nature. So that was a big USP for these guys. They sustainably farm pearls in obviously a atoll. I think it's near Hawaii. Don't quote me on that. And they are created with care and respect for nature. Okay, so that's a big buzzword and sort of aspect of this brand that a lot of people are drawn to. It's sustainable, and all of that jewelry is meaningful and carefully and respectfully applying to nature's rules, right? So yeah, here you can't actually see it, but if I open this up and click on edit, what we've done is we've added a product block, a dynamic product block. Oh, click the wrong one. Cool. Yeah, so this is a product block, and this basically links to your Shopify store or your website, and it will dynamically pull in the exact product that they was looking at. So they can see, oh, I actually was meant to get this product, my phone died, or whatever. Like, it's there in front of them, and they click the button to finish their order, and it takes them back to their exact product, right? Whilst we're on here, we might as well go through the rest of the email, and we put, here's why people choose Kamoka, and then we just got some testimonials as well. Finish your order, and then also like follow us at Kamoka Pearl for the footer, right? Get them back into the ecosystem with their social media presence. Okay, that was email number one. Let's actually look at email number two. Why Kamoka Pearls are unlike any other. Finish your order. There's more to Kamoka Pearl than their stunning appearance. When you choose Kamoka, you are choosing jewelry that's grown in a place where the ocean thrives, where the rhythm of the lagoon naturally shapes each pearl. Again, another dynamic product block. It's very important that you include these so they can see exactly what was left in their cart. And then we've got some more USPs here. So like crafted in harmony with nature, ethically made, meaningfully worn, distinctive, naturally beautiful. Finish your order. Okay. So the first one was more like social proof. This one's talking about different USPs and benefits of their company. The third one we got here, let's go ahead and look at what this is. Okay. So this is where we started to introduce incentivization. A special offer, get 10% off your order. To make it a little easier for you to take the next step, we're offering 10% off your first order for the next 48 hours. Here's the coupon code, bring a piece of home, and bring home a piece of Kamoka's ocean inspired craftsmanship. Dynamic product block again, and then call to action button. We've actually put get 10% off. Okay. Get 10% off. Not shop now, but get 10% off, because we want them to know there is incentivization throughout this email. You can clearly see I'm getting 10% off. And then if they're still not sure, top picks from our collections. Here's necklaces, here's earrings, here's bracelets. Because now they've got 10% off, they might actually want to explore different options within this brand that's more within their budget. Maybe it was a budget issue, but this is almost like we're catering for objection handling on price here. Make sense? Now, email number 4, 24 hours left. So we're really having some urgency here. Save 10% on your Kamoka Pearls, get 10% off. Time is running out. There are only 24 hours left to use your 10% discount and complete your order. This is your last chance to bring home a piece of handcrafted jewelry that reflects the natural beauty and ethical values Kamoka stands for. Don't let this opportunity slip away, okay? And then again, dynamic product block, clear incentive here. The Kamoka Pearl difference, sort of USPs, right? Family run, sustainably farmed, handcrafted, one of a kind, real human service, bit of social proof here, get 10% off, done, okay? And that is a perfect example of an abandoned cart flow. So cool, back to the abandoned checkout. Let's go ahead and look at the first email in the abandoned checkout flow and open this up. Now, for this email, we've just put you're one step away from your unique piece of the ocean, finish checkout. And then here we've just put you are just a click away from completing your order and bringing a unique piece of the ocean into your life. Your Kamoka Pearls are waiting, crafted with care and inspired by the beauty of a atoll. Each piece holds the essence of the ocean, one of a kind, naturally beautiful and made to be cherished. Finish checkout. Little image here of the actual behind the scenes of how they're actually farmed. This is from basically their Kamoka farm, underground or underwater, I was about to say. Then we've got here the Kamoka Pearl difference. Again, family run, sustainably farmed, handcrafted, one of a kind, real human service. Ready to make it yours. Complete your order before it's gone. Finish checkout. Bit of social proof here to say that we've been featured in different publishers. And then of course, call to action at the bottom here. Follow us on, Kamoka Pearl. Now, one thing you can't see here is actually the abandoned checkout product block. So if I open this up, you'll see just here we've got the dynamic product block, which will pull in basically what was inside of that checkout. Okay. And now that you've seen that, obviously, let's just go through email number 2. Email number 2, we've put discover the craft behind each piece, finish checkout. There's more to Kamoka Pearl than meets the eye. When you hold one, you are connecting with the pristine waters of a atoll, where each piece is carefully grown in harmony with the ocean. Here's the piece waiting for you. And then we've obviously got what was shown inside of that checkout page. Finish checkout. Here's a little another behind the scenes of how they're actually farmed, showing the fish are happy and they're actually still alive after we've been farming our pearls. What makes Komoka Pearl so different? So we've got crafted by nature, protected by Komoka Pearl. At our family run farm, pearls develop naturally in a thriving lagoon. So coming back to my point of that core messaging is they want to be a sustainable, environment friendly pearl farm, right? Handcrafted with purpose. Every step from farm to jewelry is powered by renewable energy. So like that, they're eco-friendly, they're good for the environment, sustainably farmed. Distinctive beauty in every pearl. No two pearls are alike, each one a result of the ocean's own design, okay? So pretty cool, unique pearls, every single one's different. The ocean's beauty and care we pour into every details are just a click away. Finish your checkout, okay? That was email number 2. Email number 3. Cool, so again, email number 3, we've started to introduce some form of incentivization. A special offer for you, 10% off your order with Pearl 10. Finish checkout. Thank you for choosing Komoka Pearl. We are giving you 10% off your order for the next 48 hours. This is your chance to bring home a truly unique piece, one that carries the story of the ocean and a commitment to sustainable beauty. Just use code PEARL10 at checkout. Here is your products in your checkout. Get 10% off. And then again, just some more images to showcase the raw, authentic, behind the scenes of the brand. Got some social proof here as well. And then obviously, same sort of footer throughout, okay? You always want to have the same footer and again, same sort of navigation at the top with the banner and logo throughout all of these emails. Keep it nice and cohesive. Email number 4. So email number 4 would be obviously more urgency to buy, talking about expiration. Your 10% off expires soon. Complete your order today with code PEARL10. Your 10% discount on Komoka Pearl is about to expire. This is your last opportunity to complete your order and take home a piece of jewelry crafted with care, intention, and respect for the ocean. Again, product block here, showing them the checkout page that they basically left. Get 10% off. Top picks from our collections. Again, coming back to sort of what we've done in the abandoned cart, showing them other product lines that we've got now that they have got this 10% off. Okay, so if they still haven't purchased yet, maybe they want a different product to what was in that checkout. Okay, and that is pretty much it. That is how you do an abandoned cart and abandoned checkout flow from start to finish with design and strategy and structure.
And that's exactly how we set up high converting abandoned cart and abandoned checkout flows. But if you want to make consistent sales, you're going to need a lot more than just an abandoned cart and abandoned checkout flow. So if you want to see the exact strategy that we use to help this brand make $322,000 in monthly sales through email marketing, all in a single month, by the way, then just watch this video right here and I'll see you there.